don't know why I feel like singing right now.
I do too. I have a song in mind.
You do? Mm-hmm. Oh, I have a song in mind, but it's a normal song.
Me too.
Go ahead.
You make me feel. You make me feel. You make me feel like a natural woman.
Okay. That was good.
Not the end.
Oh, I have one too.
What is it?
Blackberry molasses, knowing is a heartache and pain. You gotta keep pushing on. The sun don't rain all the time. It's gonna be some heartache and pain. For Bobby V. Look it up on YouTube. That's the jam. That's back in the day. I'm serious. Everybody.
Hello.
This is Marvin
and Amber,
and we're with the Family O. We're here, guys, for another episode of
Conversations Before Bed.
I don't know what episode we're on, but when you see this, just know that we have really been working very tirelessly on creating great content for you guys, setting ourselves apart from whatever you're used to seeing on YouTube. That's the goal.
Yes.
With every single one of our videos is to set ourselves apart from others.
Yes.
And just be different, create something new.
That's right.
We want to take a quick commercial break right now to recommend to you guys to check out some of our other videos that we have.
Yes.
We got over 150 videos.
Me too, you guys.
Yeah, I mean, and we've been recording since February of last year.
Of this year, actually.
2016? Oh, we just started in February.
Yeah.
See, I ain't know.
That's when it was our New York series we went for Valentine's, you guys. And that's when Babe was like, okay, we had been talking about it. Yeah. And, I told you guys I was a little iffy, but then he was like, okay, babe, I think we should go ahead. And I was like, you know what? Okay, let's do it. And that was when we actually started doing it for the Family O.
So, push pause on this video right quick. Go ahead and open up another tab in Chrome or Firefox or Internet Explorer and just set up some tabs for some of our other videos, because when I tell you guys, we have so much great content that we believe is really impactful.
Yes.
Our objective before we even hit the record button was to have content that provides value to you guys.
Definitely.
It's not about us following ourselves around all day, which is no knock on that. That's cool if that's what you choose to do.
Yeah.
But every time we hit the record button, we're like, yo, we want to provide content
that's right.
that is of value to
there
people.
You go. How can we help in some type of way? Of course, there's bits of entertainment as well.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but, how can we help? How can we plant something that you can walk away with?
Yeah, and, value. So that's our goal. So, again, we got travel videos. Yes. We got house hunter videos. If you've been looking for a house and you just kind of want to see what are some of the things that you should, look for in a new home or your current home purchase. We got tech stuff. We got family recipes that we've done. Yeah. We got Libby.
Her
little cute self. Just we got stuff for kids. That you can put them in front of the TV and just let them just enjoy some of our videos.
Exactly.
We got some of everything,
we
guys.
Do, you
we
guys.
Really do. So. We only say this because this may be your first time, seeing the Family O, and we appreciate you watching our conversations before bed. And want you to stay around a little bit.
That's right.
Make yourself comfortable, check out some of our other videos.
Yes, please do.
But tonight's episode is what was it? You had
Identity.
A wonderful title.
Identity.
Yes. Loving the skin that you are in. We're going to talk about things from our perspective, as African Americans, millennials, what we've dealt with in the workplace, just some of the things, just some of the nuances and the things we've had to deal with while still remaining true to ourselves.
Exactly. Very good. Yes.
So, one of the things that you may notice about us is that, we're very, what's the word? I can't know the word.
We are eclectic, maybe?
Well, I hate that bubble. I hate that label. That eclectic, soul.
We're unique.
I don't know what it is, but we have
What are you trying to say, babe?
People kind of try to put that little neo soul.
Oh, okay. You talking about all that?
You know, with the head wrap and the beard.
Yeah.
And the happy.
I would just say we're cultured.
Cultured.
That's what we are.
Great word.
We're cultured.
Fantastic word. So, but we weren't always this way.
No, not at all. Even though people look at us and they think, we've always had all of this and the natural hair and all that. Yeah. Everybody has a beginning. Everybody has a story. So, yeah.
So my story, since high school, and my boy Terry will tell you this. Terry, if you're watching, you already know. He's my longtime friend, and he's also my barber. When I tell you, and most guys will agree watching this, when you have a barber that you are used to, you don't want nobody else in your hair. I'm talking about nobody else, and I'm no different. And my boy T, he's been rocking with me since high school, literally. And it's been over 18 plus years that we've been good friends, and he's been my groomer. And so, he's seen me through all of my different styles. I was I think the word is pretty. I was a pretty dude. I was, I had to have the sharp, clean fade. I had to have, the mustache on point. Everything had to be, as it should be. And should I even tell the other story?
Yeah, you can.
I even trimmed my eyebrows. Yeah, when you see the Italian joint, the Jersey City boys, with the trimmed eyebrows. That was me, and so,
phases
that we go through, and I had the colored contacts.
Oh yeah.
When that was a thing for guys.
That was pre-Amber, by the way.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, long time ago. But anyways, and for many years, more recently, I had locks. My locks, I've had it several times.
Yes.
I'll grow it. Cut it, grow it, cut it, grow it, cut it. And this most recent time was a little bit over 2 years ago.
Yeah, and he grew them for Libby. When Libby was going to be born, he wanted her to know him with the locks. And so,
and I decided to let it go.
Yeah.
And, I just been keeping it just kind of, what is it? Funky, nappy little fro, and more recently I've grown my beard out. Yeah. And so I've always, for me, hair has always been something that I just enjoyed kind of experimenting with different styles, and kudos again to my boy T, my barber. He always has a way of bringing certain visions that I had, or certain ideas, or certain looks that I saw in people that I was like, man, I think I could rock with that. He always had a way of making it work, and he always would tell me, bro, you always can rock any kind of style.
He can.
And so I have been like this for a very long time. My beard has never been as big as it is, and I work in a corporate environment, and it's just something that, as you guys know, beards are definitely more trendy, but it wasn't always the case, particularly for men of color.
Yes.
And so we have, for many years, it's always been, we've had to have the clean cut look, low hair, no facial hair, or very minimal facial hair. And now that it's a little more, acceptable, for facial hair, I'm rocking with it. So, to that point, I still deal with certain social pressures, specifically in the workplace, and, among, people that I know, guys that I know, where it's kind of like once you get over 30, it's like, and I think our society has a lot to do with it. We're a younger geared generation, so the goal is typically to look as young as possible, and a lot of people have shied away from facial hair, and they don't want to rock facial hair in any capacity because they don't want to feel like they look old or whatever. But I like my beard, and I feel like I feel like I'm still super youthful. I take care of myself. I work out. I eat good to the best of our ability. We just had a buffet earlier today,
but it was still plant-based.
Yes, ma'am. But for me, I've embraced my facial hair. And I feel like I'm kind of learning more about myself, or what my definition of beauty is. you know, by just embracing, you know, the hair that God gave me.
Yes.
You know, and not trying to kind of shave it down or look young and all that. I'm just like, look, it is what it is. It is what it is.
That's good, babe.
Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to add, I guess from my perspective, very similar to Babe. I mean, I think I'm going to focus more on, I guess, like makeup and stuff like that because, first of all, my mom didn't allow me to wear makeup until I turned 16. I was a good kid though, and she'll tell you. But seriously, but yeah, I remember like I kind of was getting interested in makeup and things like that. And my mom didn't grow up wearing a lot of makeup or anything, so it was just magazines and all that stuff that I would see. And so I would kind of play around with it a little bit. And then I remember I actually was able to start at 15. And so keep in mind, you know, I was really blessed that I didn't deal with a lot of like self-esteem issues from a physical standpoint of how I looked. So I didn't wear makeup at first, and then I started wearing makeup. And you guys, it was so interesting, and some of you women may be able to identify with this, but keep in mind, I never felt any type of way about myself or anything prior to makeup. But then it got to a point where I felt like I had to have makeup in order to leave the house. You know, wherever I was going, like I just had to make sure I was dressed up a certain way. I had my makeup on point. And keep in mind, this was way pre-natural. I mean, that was far from anything I thought I would ever do, is putting my hair back in the natural state that God had given me. You know, so if I wanted to wear my hair down or something like that, you know, then I would get a perm. But at any rate, so I just remember, you know, I was in high school, and I remember telling God, you know, that I want to basically get back to the point of where I was, where I didn't have like an insecurity of feeling like I have to look a certain way, I have to be dressed up, I have to, you know, wear heels and just all this type of stuff that to me didn't really matter. And keep in mind, I really didn't even realize I had a problem until I think I just kind of, I remember like my mom would be like, you know, you want to make a run to the store with me? And I would say, you know, like, well, hold on, woman, let me go get ready, you know, like get ready to go make a run to the store. Really? I know,
that's
you know.
That's a far stretch from who you are now.
I mean, very far, you guys. Like, I am like complete opposites, you know. And like I said, I didn't realize I had the problem until it's like God would show me that, you know.
Well, let me ask you, not to cut you off, but what was the turning point for you?
Well, thank you. That's a great question. The turning point for me, you guys, literally was me just having a conversation with God one day, and I was talking to him about, I was in high school, I was talking to him about like my future husband, you know, because I always knew I wanted to be married. And I just remember talking to God about how the type of husband that I wanted, you know, like from a spiritual standpoint, all that stuff. But then also I wanted a husband, I wanted a man that would look at me and just be like, you are the most beautiful woman ever. And
you're the most beautiful woman ever.
Thank you, baby. And you know, but look at me, not because of, I could put myself together so well, but because like how I look now, for example, you know, like just no makeup, just raw, you know what I'm saying? So, and you know what, another thing too, baby, just thought about also was that I noticed at the time too, around this time, and this was actually too, I started noticing a little bit post high school as well, whenever different gentlemen would be, I guess trying to holler or whatever, I would notice that, you know, whenever I looked a certain way, I would get a certain type of attention. Yeah. And I was like, you know what? I just always was kind of different about that, because I wanted a guy, like I said, that would look at me and be like, wow, she doesn't look this quote unquote typical way. You know, she looks different. You know, she doesn't have, you know, all of this makeup and just hair. And I'm not saying that anything is necessarily wrong with it, but for me at that time it was something wrong, because I felt like I needed it at that time to be beautiful, basically. Like I said, not even realizing it, but God gave me that revelation. And so you guys, little by little, I just started stripping myself of the makeup. And I remember I started with my lips, and if you guys remember back in the day, we used to wear that lip liner, and you would put it around the rim of your lips and then put the lipstick in the middle. I used to do that country style too, you guys. And I started with that. I got rid of that. And then I would wear like translucent makeup, so I didn't even do a whole lot of heavy makeup or anything. But I got rid of the face makeup, and then I got my eyes. And then slowly but surely, you guys, I went back to my natural state. And I just got so confident back to how I was pre-makeup, and just felt beautiful and amazing. And so fast forward many years later, when I met my husband, which I met him on the phone first, and when we were getting ready to meet, I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna wear any makeup, because I would still wear makeup. Even like now, I still wear makeup sometimes, but usually that's just on the weekends. You know, I've said this before, on the weekdays I don't wear no makeup. But anyway, I said I'm not gonna wear any makeup. I said because why are you laughing?
You was gonna give me the real deal?
I said he's gonna get the real deal. I said, now look, if he like what he see, good, and if he don't, that's good too. Moving on to the next. No, I'm just playing. But no, seriously, it was church, you guys, and I was like, you know what? I'm not gonna wear any makeup. I'm like, you know, because
so
first
you
of all,
didn't have any makeup at all when I pulled
he
up?
always asks me this. No.
None whatsoever. No Carmex, no nothing.
No, I probably had Carmex on. Now I gotta have some Carmex. I'll put some lip stuff on. You know, some.
We'll go ahead. No, I got something funny to say.
Okay, but yeah. So that was that, and you know, he loved everything that he saw. Yada 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 yada, and then. It's so funny because then I would still wear makeup off and on, you know, whatever have you. And then one day, this rascal over here told me that he don't even like that I wear makeup. He don't even like makeup. So even now today, like I wear makeup sometimes, especially like if we go out or something like that. And sometimes I don't. It just depends on how I feel. But every so often, sometimes you guys will see us on Instagram. Sometimes I have on some lip. Sometimes I won't. But most of the time, I don't do it for him because he doesn't like it. So
yeah, and I mean it's pretty simple. Why? I mean, for me again, going through the phases, because it's not like I've never liked to see makeup on a person and nothing like that. But I think that at the phase that I was in, you know, right before we met, I just think the timing was great.
Yeah.
Because I was on the hunt for an afro. I said, the person I'm gonna get with is gonna be an incense burning, Carol's daughter using, shea butter lathering, coconut oil dressing person. And so my babe, of course, she came into her knowledge and acceptance of her natural state of beauty. So the stars just aligned perfectly because I was getting away from the long fingernails, the long yaki. That wasn't appealing for me anymore.
And it never was me, by the way. I never did all of that stuff. I was just kind of myself without the natural hair and you know some other stuff. Yeah,
I was looking for something different. You know, so it just was perfect. You were free and I was free, and so we, you know, it just worked out perfectly. I think it's just us, but you know, your situation may be a little bit different. You might be struggling with maybe their mate may not want to see them in their natural state, or may always want you know, to
put together a
certain kind of way. And I feel like you know, if it's a guy that's like that, you know, I think, you know, from my experience, you know, when I have seen guys that are like that, you know, I think that it's because it's something, you know, within them that they're lacking, that they look for the trophy in a sense, you know, the Barbie or whatever the case is. And I don't think that's being realistic, because a lot of the times, you know, while they looking for perfection, you know, they walk around with a beer belly, pimples, and all sorts of, you know, so it's like you're not even giving what you want. You know, what you want. So I think that you just have to, you know, come to a place where you start loving yourself, giving yourself more self-love, you know, realizing that your flaws are what make you beautiful.
Yes, definitely.
And that's not no game. I mean, that's real talk.
It's for real,
Because it's about the confidence. I think for me, what I found most attractive with you, among other things, I'm sorry, I gotta beat myself. I'm sorry. But what I found most attractive was your confidence. And so, I mean, everybody don't have that. So I think that a lot of the times, if you're confident in the skin that you're in, then it'll start to show, you know, it'll start to show in your hair, it'll start to show in the lack of makeup. I know, you know, a lot of celebrities now, I think Alicia Keys is on that no makeup campaign. And, you know, I wonder, and a lot of people, what does her husband think about that? And he's like, yo, this is who she is, you know? And so I think that if you're in a relationship and you have a mate that is truly with you for who you are and love you for who you are. Then if it's something that's on your heart that you really want to start, shedding some of the traditional ways you presented yourself and try something different, then they should support that.
I agree. And I think like the way I think about like beauty, like a lot of times you always hear when you look good, you feel good. But I think the opposite. I think that when you feel good inside, it comes out inside and you start to look good. I don't think that it necessarily has anything to do with how you wear your hair or how you dress or, how you groom your face for a man. I don't think, that's just my opinion, because I feel like you could get really super dressed up and look really nice on the outside, to yourself, for example. But then it's like, let's just say you go out or whatever have you, and then like, especially if you're insecure anyway, you may be comparing yourself to other people. So you didn't spend like 2 hours getting yourself looking a certain way, but then you feel insecure because you see someone else that like, dang, they look like they didn't rock them heels a little bit better than I did, or I don't know, have a bag or just whatever it might be. And then on top of that, when you come back home and you take all that off, you still have what? Yourself to look at. Your natural true self, whatever that may be. Even for men, for example, guys are big on wearing shades sometimes, to cover up their face. It may be an insecurity in that type of way. I don't know. But, I just feel like just go ahead, let it hang out. And like, I'm gonna get kind of really personal right now. I've never talked about this, but I have something called psoriasis. I don't know if you guys know, but it's basically like a skin condition where your skin can be kind of scaly and all this stuff, and maybe we'll talk about that another time because it's a long story about how I found it, about how I had it and all that stuff. But at any rate, I remember when I first started, when it started appearing was in college, and I'll just never forget. And this is why I feel like it's so important that you, you really ask God to help you with your confidence, how you feel, and that you have a partner, that values your beauty as well. Because you guys, when I tell you, and like I was at the point then where I wasn't wearing a lot of makeup, so I like to go out without any makeup on and just let my skin breathe and, just feel vibrant and beautiful. And that was a test for me, you guys, because my skin, oh my goodness, I would literally have like blotches, on my face, patches and things of that nature. And I just recently dealt with that because I had to get my wisdom teeth pulled. And so I couldn't take my medication that helps with my psoriasis at that time. But anyway, it was really bad, you guys. I just literally had just things all, not even my face, but just my body in general. And that really was a time where I just really had to dig deep and say, God, regardless of what's going on with my skin, it doesn't change who I am inside. And that's the reason why I feel like your inside is so much more important. When your inside is pure and filled with joy and happiness, it's like no matter how you may look on the outside, it just will shine through. And not saying that it wasn't hard, because trust me, it was. I remember that was, I was dealing with it when we graduated, and it was just like, oh my goodness, and even getting married as well. It was because that was a year later. But my husband was so awesome. At the time, he was my boyfriend. But when I tell you, he just loved on me, and like you just would have never known anything was different with me dealing with this. And like I said, at the time, not knowing what it was, and it just seemed to have come out of nowhere. And
it's just important when you say you love somebody. We're all gonna change. Things are gonna come up. It may be an illness, it may be any number of things. But if you love a person, music. So part of the, for me, things I dealt with, one of the reasons why I cut my locks, was because I felt like, oh snap, are my locks keeping me from getting a job? Am I being judged because I have natural hair? And I fell for the pressure, and asked me if I ended up getting a job when I cut my hair.
No, sure did.
So
it just was not God's time.
It
he
just
still
wasn't
didn't
God's
get the job
time.
until
still didn't get that
That's
job,
true.
and I cut my hair for it, and I regretted that one of those times. And so, in my current career, I went to my interview with my baby locks at the time. Got hired, and it's a very, corporate environment. It's very few African Americans that are there, and nobody said anything for the longest time. I didn't feel like I was being treated differently. I didn't feel it at all. You know what I'm saying? It was like, it was just one of those situations where it was like, what do I bring to the table?
Exactly.
That was the reason I was hired. And so, I have done very well in my field, and nobody could give a darn how I look.
That's right. I think when he cut them, that's when people had something to say at that point. Because by that time they had grown, like, probably was it shoulder length, I guess? Not shoulder length, yeah. So, yeah.
What you cut your hair for? Oh, my God. What you cut your hair for? I was just like, well, I just wanted something different. I said, oh, okay. Y'all can get this big old beard.
Yeah, he did say that.
So, so ever since, like I said, I've been rocking with my beard. And, when I have functions where, I have to get suited and booted, you just get your nice little edge up, shape it up. I mean, this is trendy now.
Yes.
This is very trendy now. You see them in magazines, guys with beards. It's super trendy. It's whole pages on Instagram dedicated to men with beards. So I'm just riding that way because this is what I enjoyed. Yeah. Anyway, and
you were doing it first, though. It wasn't like he did it because it's cool. I mean, that's what he wanted to do.
I've been rocking with beard, but again, this was a process. Again,
definitely
for men. We don't deal with a lot of the pressures that women deal with to appeal to a certain Western perception of beauty, but we deal with it too. We deal with it too, and I think that the thing for us as men is to try to, again, look as youthful as we possibly can. You go work out every day so you get big and strong, and then you cut your hair down so you think you look 21, and you still look 41, you still look 51, you still look 61. What's that guy? He's on social media now. They call him Mr. Still Your Grandma.
Yeah.
Prime example. He has a fantastic looking beard, and and he's very popular on social media, and he's got facial hair. You know what I mean? Morgan Freeman, the brother never ages.
Yeah, that's true.
The guy that played James Bond, I forget his name. Sean Connery.
Oh, Sean. Oh, yeah. I forgot about him. Sean Connery,
rocking the beard. And who's some other famous beardmen? Santa Claus. It's many famous beardsmen, and I feel like, again, it's the confidence. I mean,
definitely.
For me, you can't say nothing to me once I put that beard oil on.
That beard balm.
And the baby be shimmering. I be looking like a pharaoh. You can't say nothing to me.
That's right.
I know I look good.
You should.
Square business. So but at the end of the day, you have to have that confidence in yourself. Yes. And it's a muscle that we all have to work.
That's right.
We all have to work.
That's right. You have to build up to it. Like I said, I mean, I definitely was blessed, like I said, that I didn't deal with, a lot of those insecurities look-wise. But then, like I said, going from wearing makeup, I had to retrain myself to get used to, Amber, you're beautiful, Yeah. Like, you don't need any of that type of stuff. If you want to wear it, okay. But if not, you good. I don't have to be like, oh, wait a minute, hold on, babe, I got to go do my makeup. I got to do, it's like, it just shouldn't be that way. Like, I feel like if you feel like you have to have makeup, you have to have this type of hair, you have to have certain things to feel beautiful and feel good about yourself, I think it's wise to reevaluate that. And even with our daughter, you guys, like, with Libby, like, we are constantly telling her, look in the mirror, tell us, what do you see? What do you like about what you see? We're constantly letting her see how beautiful she is, and of course, her hair is natural. Like, that's one thing that, like, was really important to us, that we kept her hair natural, that we did not put any chemicals in it or anything like that, and just nurture her natural beauty, because enough of us do not see that. We like Babe mentioned earlier, we look at the Western society a lot of times, and we view our beauty based on that. And that is so weird to me, because it is so many beautiful people in the world, so many different looks, that how can you take one particular group of people and say this is what beauty is? It doesn't make any sense to me at all. So with Liberty, like, we're real big on just, even if we're reading a story to her, sometimes I'll look at some of the characters and I'll say, well, Liberty, tell us, what character do you see that looks the most like you? And she would be like, oh, that person looks like me. Right. They have curly hair like I do. They have brown skin like I do. That's important, you guys. It's really important. And I've told Babe the story many times. I'll never forget this one situation where I was teaching. It's been many, but one in particular, this little girl I was teaching years ago. And I'll never forget, you guys, we were doing a like all about me type of project or something where the kids had to do a portrait of themselves. So we were using construction paper, and we had a few choices available. And I'll never forget, this little girl, she was a beautiful, beautiful dark skin, and when it was time for her to go get her construction paper for her skin color, she ended up getting a manila piece of paper. Oh my goodness, thinking about it, it makes me very emotional. But she went and got a manila piece of paper, you guys, and I remember bringing her out. I mean, this is, excuse me for being so emotional, but it just hurts me to know that this little 6-year-old girl, you know, got a manila piece of paper and she is chocolate brown. And I pulled her outside and I just began to talk to her and just ask her, you know, why did you pick this piece of paper? And, you know, how do you feel about yourself? I mean, you know, just several little questions. And she was just pouring her little stuff out to me. And basically, make a long story short, she just didn't feel beautiful. She didn't, even though she knew what her color was, what she thought was beautiful was that manila piece of paper.
Wow.
Yeah. That was like one of my, like, wow moments as a teacher in the classroom. And Babe, you know, he'll tell you, like, I'm just super duper, you know, when it comes to imagery, you know, with our child, you know, we have to give her these images that look like her because, you know, those experiences have changed me forever. You know, to see a child, you know, it wasn't even like the child was close to that color of the paper. I mean, she was nowhere near it. So you just, for me, I feel like it's something I want to talk to her about, you know? So, I mean, it's just, we just have to do the work. We have to, as Babe said, we have to, you know, dig deep and just, you know, find out, Lord, who are we? Give us that confidence so that we are comfortable in our skin. And look, this person is beautiful too, but guess what? So am I. You know, they're not any more beautiful than me because of a skin tone or a skin color or because of how their hair looks, you know. I don't know, and I'm probably being biased or whatever, but we are beautiful. Black people, we are so beautiful. I mean, we come in so many different shades, and you know, we're beautiful. It's just that simple. Yeah,
I mean, and once more of us realize that, because again, it's about what are you encoding in yourself? What has been encoded in you? You know, commercials, TV, you know, kind of tells us without telling us, you know, what's beautiful, what's so acceptable, what's not beautiful, what's not acceptable, and so. You just have to stay woke. Stay woke. Stay woke. You know, see the little, you know, the little tricks that are being played by the media. I keep pointing to our TV like people can see it. But peep the tricks that are being played by these advertisers, by these, you know, by these TV shows, you know, who they're holding up in a certain manner and who they're kind of pushing down in a certain manner, and what is beauty defined by, you know, just be awake. And if you don't notice it, that you're being fed a certain amount of it, you're being fed what to think, just imagine how your child, you know, your younger sibling or whatever the case is, the person that's much younger than you that you have direct contact with, just imagine how they're already beginning to be taught what's beautiful, what's not beautiful. Like Babe said, you know, we're very intentional with our daughter, reminding her that she is beautiful just as she is, and she knows that. I mean, she's the cutest little thing. We know that everybody else says it. We appreciate that. But, you know, we know that it's our job to tell her that she's beautiful.
Not other people.
Yeah, because if we don't do it as parents, then she's going to be looking for that in somebody else. So, I'll be doggone. You know, the wrong person is feeding her, oh, baby, you beautiful, you better. She's going to be like, my daddy already told me that.
I know that. My mama tell me that all the time.
So, you know, if you are instilling that in your children or those that look up to you that are younger than you, you know, just know that you are doing God's work. You know, you are sowing those seeds of confidence into them now, so that when they grow older, you know, and they see the tricks that are being played on television, they'll say, okay, well, that might be one perspective of beauty, but I'm beautiful too.
Exactly, yes. And I wanted to add to that, you made me think about that, going back to the makeup again. That's another thing too with Liberty as well, is because, so I do wear makeup, right? Okay, but the thing about it is that another reason why this is recently, since Libby's been like alert and awake. When I say awake, I mean, you know, here, present. is I go a lot more without makeup as well too, because I want her to also understand that, okay, oh, my mommy is very pretty, but she's not pretty because she has a face full of makeup. She's pretty because she has beautiful big eyes. She has, I don't know, a nice skin color, you know, whatever else, you know. You want to help me out?
Yeah, I mean, you know, you talking about you?
Yeah. I'm being funny.
I mean, yeah, everything. But she'll tell me, you know, our daughter will say, oh, Daddy, I love your beard. Your beard is so beautiful. And, you know, I might not be feeling the most confident about my appearance, but, you know, having, you know, your 3-year-old, you know, tugging on your beard, for men saying, I love your beard. It's so beautiful. It gives me that confidence that as a 34-year-old man, you know, I need to be, you know, it's a lot of things, you know, even amongst each other, you know, as African Americans, we all know, you know, to be darker was kind of like the, like kind of put down,
not positive,
you know, not a positive thing. But for me, I never had those hang-ups. I had other hang-ups. So I wasn't even worried about, you know, being darker or whatever like that. Like I never, when they were talking about how light was in, you know, the light skin, the wavy hair joint, I was like, I wasn't bothered by it. You know, and then when my boy Morris, he brought us back with vengeance. You know, the bringing the Chocolate Brothers back. You know, so that was always a war that I always had. Remember on social media too, it was like team light skin, or you acting light skin, or you acting dark skin. And the dark skin to be acting dark skin is more. Like aggressive, and to be acting light skinned,
it was more not aggressive, basically. Kind
of more effeminate for men.
Yes.
But at the end of the day, you know, it's all, you know, tricks that we're allowing ourselves to fall for. So don't fall for the bait. However God made you is exactly as He intended you to be.
On purpose.
You know, I know a lot of, you know, people get plastic surgery and want to change features about themselves. But at the end of the day, you know, when you start down that kind of rabbit hole, you know, you rarely ever see an end to it. It's always going to be something you want to tweak or fix. And you know what? Just love the skin that you're in.
That's right.
You know, if you're, for example, if you're a certain weight and you want to get down to a certain weight, you know how to take care of yourself. You know the choices you make. We all know what we can do to get to a better stage of ourselves. And just work that process. You know, it's not gonna be, you're not gonna win every day. You're not gonna feel fantastic every day. But take comfort in knowing that you're not alone.
That's right.
You're in a group full of insecure people. Whoever it is that you're talking to, that you're feeling insecure about, trust and believe they're insecure as well. Hoping that you don't see what they're insecure about.
To some degree.
You know, when we all realize that we're all imperfect and we're working our different, you know, demons out, we'll be okay at the end. And just know that God made you perfect. We are fearfully, wonderfully made. We are perfect as we've been made. So love that, realize that, and I promise you, we promise you that as you get through that process and learn more of yourself, you'll find a part of yourself that was taken away from you because of what someone said to you or what someone didn't say to you. You'll get back to that, you know, that childlike state where everything is perfect, everyone's perfect, you know, and all that. So we're going to close with some prayer, guys. Before we do that, if you appreciated this video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. That's always appreciated. We hope that this video blessed you. Let us know in the comments what are some of your tips for finding or digging out that inner beauty within yourself. And we love to hear from you. All right. So we'll pray.
All right. That's great.
Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, we thank you for bringing us together for another Conversations Before Bed. We thank you that whoever watched this, Lord, watched this at the time that they needed to know that they are perfect already.
Yes, Lord.
That who they are is who exactly you created them to be.
God.
And that we know that, you know, as it relates to our health, we can, you know, make certain changes with your guidance, with your leadership, to get to a healthier state of ourselves. But help us to love all of our features, our ears, our nose, our lips, our eyes, our skin. Every one of those things, Lord, you didn't make any accidents. You made us all exactly as we were supposed to be. Help us to not focus on what Western society says is beautiful, but help us to get back to who you say we are.
Yes, God.
We thank you, Father God, that confidence is being restored in those that have lost confidence, that insecurities are melting away under the sound of my voice, and that, Lord, that we are being created new in you, Father God. Forgive us for anyone that we passed judgment on because they didn't fit our standard of beauty. And Lord, help those to forgive us that we've done the same way, or that's done us the same way, Father God. Help us to realize, Lord, that we are all imperfect, and with you, we are made perfect, Father God. We thank you. We love you. We thank you for everything you've done in us. We thank you that every day you walk with us, reminding us that we are perfect just as we are.
Yes, Lord.
We thank you and we love you. In Jesus' name.
In Jesus' name.
Amen.
Amen.
All right. Love you. All right, guys.
Peace.
Peace out, guys.